Hello and welcome to Pravus Gaming and Plague Inc. Evolved. Alright, so I have been reading some comments of people recommending some custom scenarios that we can do. I'm kind of letting more people leave those comments. I'm kind of creating a list of some ideas. But for now, I think we need to continue to finish off some of the generic plagues on Mega Brutal. We've already got the bacteria, virus, fungus, Nurex worm, parasite, and Necroa virus done. The Nurex worm, again, that was a Brutal video a while back I did. That worked equally well for Mega Brutal. I haven't done it recently. I could do that at some point. I might, but we'll see. And then you see the nano-virus here. I've already got finished on Mega Brutal. Yeah, that's because I was doing a practice match before this video. I thought that I had set it to regular Brutal mode, just to try out a new strategy. And then I would record my attempt at a Mega Brutal. Well, it worked really well, and then I got the little achievement in the bottom that said, oh, nano-virus master. I'm like, what the heck? That can't have happened. Oh, wait. I accidentally left it on Mega Brutal, so apparently I already beat it. I didn't mean to, so I have to think that's a good sign? Let's go ahead and try to replicate my results, shall we? Absolutely. Alright, so the genetic code that I used, ATP boost for the bonus DNA. You'll understand why that's useful in the beginning. The alternative, of course, I would say red is probably okay, orange is probably okay, but I think this is perhaps the most advantageous because this is a race against the clock. So the extra DNA is probably going to be really useful. Genetic Mimic, I would say, is pretty much a must. You really want your plague to be as hard to cure as possible. Aquasite, Extremophile, these are both my typical go-tos. I don't think anything's changed on that. I think a lot of people would be tempted to go for Pathostasis on this one to make sure your ability costs don't increase. But I really, really, really don't want my virus easier to cure. I think that's insane. So I'm going to pass on this and instead go for Ionized Helix, which will give you bonus DNA when devolving, because we may very well get a mutation we don't want, and I would like to get it as free DNA rather than say, oh great, that's 5 more DNA I have to waste. You know what I mean? So we'll try that. Now as far, oh yep, that's Mega Brutal. Definitely meant to click this last time, didn't happen. As far as a name, apparently we called it iPod last time, not actually really meant to. What about the iPod Nano? No, wait, there's already an iPod Nano out in existence and humanity hasn't been exterminated yet. Well, along that line, instead what we can do is the Android Nano. Yeah, when Google comes out with their Nano version, right, of like a music player or a phone, then the world is screwed because, you know, Google. Alright, let's play. Whatever, I don't care. Welcome to Plague Inc. Start a location. So I'm going to start in Egypt, as I often do. Saudi Arabia is probably a good choice as well. Maybe India. Anywhere along the equatorial region should be fine. Now we start off with 11 points here, which is good. Oh, notice by the way they were already at 2% cure progress? Yeah, that's because the nanovirus is special in that it was human-made. Humans are aware that it broke out, and they're trying to broadcast a kill switch, or a kill code, right from day one. So the cure is already beginning, and it's really fast, by the way. So we need to try and get away from that. So, to counteract that, we have a couple of abilities. One is Code Fragment Interception. Why we have the comedy and tragedy masks, I don't really know, but it is. This basically is going to slow future broadcasts. It's exactly like genetic hardening, but it's cheap and early on, so we'll pick that up right away. And the other side of the ability tree is Radical Elements Stabilized. This is the same thing as a genetic reshuffle, so it takes the cure progress that's already been made and shoots it back a few percentage points. We'll probably be making extensive use of this later. There's, of course, this code segment interception. This will slow things down a fair bit. I'm going to go ahead and go straight for that. So there's basically 2 levels of genetic hardening right from the get-go, which should hopefully bring this cure progress under control, but my gosh, is it going to be rough. Now, as far as symptoms, paranoia and insomnia are the 2 we're going to go for right away. This makes people less effective. Notice that insomnia initially costs 0, and paranoia only costs 1, which is pretty nice. So let's go ahead and make use of those. We're going to slow down the cure as much as we can from day 1 to get as much value out of that as possible, but you'll notice it's still going up pretty darn fast. I would say that the nanovirus isn't the hardest, but it is definitely one of the most stressful plagues in the game right now. Everything is just so fast. So fast. Let's go and pick up air level 1 so that we're able to speed through this pretty much as quickly as possible. We're already on speed 3. For some reason, I guess, well, okay. I guess because I played a game recently, it was at speed 3. It just stayed that way. I don't think I changed it, but oh well, whatever. Let's go ahead and pick up, what do we want? We probably want water level 1, honestly. Get that early infectivity. We're already up to 30% cure progress, and it's been like 2 months. So that's fun. Good, we spread to Saudi Arabia a little bit early. I like that. I like that a lot. As far as some symptoms, no, I think we're probably... Well, do we want the symptoms? Let's go ahead and pick up rash. And let's go ahead and pick up sweating. Those are two fairly effective options that will lead towards skin legions. Oh, come on. Fully sequenced. Well, that was extremely unlucky on our end. That might be the end of the game for us, but we're going to find out. Probably have to make use of those kill switches or those code fragmentation things, whatever. I don't know. Spread to Spain. Okay, that's pretty nice. Yeah, they're definitely curing us a lot faster. That was remarkably unlucky, but we'll see what we can do. There's the USA. I'm going to go ahead and pop... Well, let's go ahead and go for drug resistance level 1, because we are in Europe right now, technically, and the USA. We got a little bit of time, but we're not going to want to run against that clock for too much longer. Hot countries getting hotter. Well, good thing we are automatically resistant to the heat. All right, let's pick up radical elements stabilized. That should reduce their cure progress a fair bit, actually. That was pretty significant. We have gone to the UK already. We're spreading throughout Africa. We're going to want cold resistance fairly soon, but I think more importantly, genetic hardening level 1 to slow things down again. Get this back under control. There's Japan for us. They found us, but that doesn't really matter because they've already started the cure progress, so I don't really care that much about it. The reason I'm not going for any sort of lethality early on, honestly, is because I don't want them to close down their ports. You know, if Greenland or any of the other island nations does that, then we're in a lot of trouble, and I really don't want to deal with that. Let's go for genetic hardening level 2 while we're thinking about it. I wouldn't mind picking up water level 2 if we can get up to 17 points, but we may need to keep going for some more abilities and drug resistance. Cold resistance in particular comes to mind. We're going to pick up water level 2, and then we're going to want to go for cold resistance. Hopefully we'll be okay on the cure progress by that point. Let's see how we're doing. Cold resistance level 1? Sure, why not? We do still have access to genetic reshuffling as well, so there are several opportunities for us to try and reset the cure progress. Fever developed for free. No. No, no, no. I know it's tempting, but absolutely not, because I do not want any lethality at all, or Greenland may close their borders well before I am ready for it. So let's avoid that. Let's go for cold resistance level 2, I think. Then we'll look at medical drug resistance level 2. Keep a few points in reserve just in case we need to do an emergency genetic reshuffle. We undoubtedly will go through all of those. That's just pretty much a given. It will happen. We're actually infecting most of the world right now already, which is pretty nice. We don't even have very many transmission. We don't have very much transmission or very many symptoms at all. For genetic resistance, drug resistance level 2, and then we're going to want to go for, 18 points? Maybe genetic reshuffle. 12 points is more reasonable. Yeah, let's see if we can build ourselves up to 12 points before it gets too late. That may have been a mistake. I'm a little worried that it was. Nope, we're actually okay. Okay, let's go for that genetic reshuffling right now then. Buy ourselves that time because we know we need it. Good, we're infecting a few more places. Already got quite a few more points. I think you actually get bonus DNA as the nano-virus for infecting people. At least, I think. That's what I've sort of been inclined to believe. Let's go for Encryption Breached, level 2 there. Now, you'll notice, by the way, that both of these ability trees do have a special ability at the top. I don't recommend picking them up. So, the one for reducing cure progress is Replication Factory Overload. You'll get several weeks of significantly boosted infectivity. Tempting, but the problem is, once it's run its course, you'll become a bit more easily, or you have less infectivity in the long run. I don't think that's going to be very useful to us, at least not now. You know, by the time that we're getting to the late game and this won't matter, we'll have already infected people, so who cares? We don't need it. And then there's Broadcast Interceptor Overload, which allows you to become immune to the cure for several weeks. A good emergency option, but it increases your susceptibility to your cure progress later. So it's kind of a Hail Mary pass, you know, that's your last chance to win. I don't recommend picking up either of those, but we'll see what we can do. Alright, we're down to 67% cure progress. Still haven't reached Greenland, but we're getting around. We're missing no other islands, just Greenland. Okay, good. So if we can get a good foothold in other countries, I'm going to start pumping in the kill switches, really go for some insanity, slow these guys down. Insanity and coma are going to be my two primary sources of killing people. Come on, Greenland, please. I really need you to die now, Greenland. Can someone send a boat? Please, send a boat. We could go for some drug immunity, which actually means that we are completely immune to any form of drugs, I think, in wealthy countries. Like, I'm pretty sure it just eliminates the modifier that rich countries have. Not really going to be necessary for us, though. I don't think there's any point, really, in picking up Air 2. Don't think we'll need it. We could go for skin lesions. Does increase severity, increases the likelihood that Greenland will close their borders, but the extra infectivity might be necessary for us at this point, so we'll go ahead and go for it. How are we looking as far as the cure? 72%. Oh, boy. We're pushing it. It's getting there. Greenland and Korea. Korea? Why is Korea holding out on me? Korea never holds out on me. Korea bears all. All right, let's go for drug immunity. Make sure that we get through Canada. There's Korea. So come on, Greenland, please. Like, for the love of God, now, like, don't do me wrong here, please. Just do it. Get a boat over there. Don't close your port. Just get a boat. Is that it? No, that wasn't it. Come on. Hunting patient 0. Don't do that. There we are. Okay. Good. Now we're at 100 freaking points. And we are at 80% cure progress? Okay. Well, let's not spend all of our points right away. How many do we need? 24. So we can pick up seizures and insanity right away. We'll pick up necrosis so that those bodies will continue to be infective in places like Greenland, but otherwise I'm not too worried about the infectivity, and we still have almost enough points to do a genetic reshuffle. That should slow down their cure progress substantially. So we're looking at 197 days until it is complete. I think that's going to end up being more than enough time. This is actually going even better than my previous run. Learned a few things. Coughing for free. All right, I'm not opposed. That should be fine. Let's start working our way toward coma, I think. So inflammation, paralysis, and coma. There we go. Don't think we're going to need that genetic reshuffle quite yet. We just knocked it down to 75% cure progress. That's good. Greenland is still infecting reasonably. Applesoft, ironically, is working on a cure device for the Android Nano. So there you go. There you go. Battle of the consumable electronics market right there. What else could we do? I don't even know if I'm going to need this genetic reshuffle at this point. I feel like we're doing all right. Let's go ahead and save up for total organ failure. 63,000 points. It's going to be rough, but I think we might be able to do it. No healthy people in the world. Okay, so here's a cool thing. Because I picked up ionized helix, I can go ahead and just start refunding these transmission. Don't need them. Totally pointless. So that's like an extra, what was that, 8 points for free right there? No big deal. 59 points, the cost is going down, the more people are dying. So we'll definitely be able to speed that up rather drastically. Alright. Total organ failure. Kill them all. Oh yeah, now we're killing really fast. Oh yeah. Oh, it's glorious. Okay. Android Nano is doing just freaking fine, I'll tell you that much. Hypersensitivity? No. Systematic infection? I mean, honestly, let's just go ahead and pick up the genetic reshuffle and knock the cure progress down. Only 4%. That wasn't much at all. How about number 3? 70. Wow, that was not very effective at all, honestly. Not that it was really needed. I mean, 3% is a long time for us at this point, but still. Alright, systematic infection. Let's just kill these last people off really fast. They're dropping like flies. Stupid little flies. You created me, and now I am your doom. And so that's what I think about you. Android! Tell you guys, Google will destroy humanity. It's inevitable. Alright guys, that went amazingly well. That definitely went a lot better than my previous attempt. That was a 3-star one. I'm surprised it wasn't more, but it went really well. 616 days, okay. But we didn't have to stress out too much. Honestly, it was pretty good. I think only like 1 point did the cure actually get up to like 90% before we dealt with that. We were actually in a really good position the entire time. That actually worked remarkably well. I'm very proud of that. Very proud of that. And you can see, with a fairly effective strategy like that, yeah, you can see how my first attempt, I just won without even meaning to. Totally worked. Not a problem at all. Greenland was really holding out on us. That could have been a kink in our plan. And had we gotten a little less lucky, for example, completely genetically re-sequencing, you know, the the nano-virus so that they had significantly higher cure speed. That could have been a serious problem for us. So there are some random events that could have messed us up, but everything ultimately kind of worked well to our favor, and we just kept on top of that cure by reducing it straight at the very beginning. That's the first thing we did. We didn't go for any infective symptoms at all. We just reduced their cure progress so they would take a much longer time, and got the most value out of the insomnia and paranoia as possible, and we won. No problem. No problem whatsoever. Pretty happy with that. Alright guys, thank you guys for watching. This has been Pravus with Plague Inc. Evolved. Be sure to leave a comment telling me what kind of custom scenarios you might like to see in the future, or which Plague I ought to do next. And I, as always, will see you guys next time.